This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. It's Gil Alexander alongside my little buddy Kelly Bidley, everybody.
Hey, how we doing?
I'm good, man.
Good.
You still alive in Survivor?
Still alive. Me and everybody else and their mother.
You and every other human. Who'd you have?
I took the Chiefs. I ended up taking the Chiefs, so I burnt that card early. And
that's the old weird Survivor net negative feel when you win on a team like that, which we'll get into just how unbelievably ridiculous that game was in terms of domination.
Yeah, it really was. I thought Steve brought up a good point on Friday, though, and it had me thinking a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that was listening, my head was still scrambled on Friday. It was where I was going to go. I sat down, kind of just started looking at the next few weeks, and I know I had said on the show I was probably going to go Patriots, and then just kind of looking ahead to this week, it was, man, I really thought it would be nice to have the Patriots available, so ended up pivoting, went to Kansas City, and then, yes, everybody else ended up winning.
Hey, man, you're still alive.
Congrats to those who took the Bears out.
Congrats to all who survived and are through into Week 8. I know some still have picks tonight. There's a doubleheader in football. There's a Game 7 in Major League Baseball. Man, oh, man. And I got no idea between Toronto and Seattle. We'll talk to Adam Burke a little later on to discuss Game 7 between the Blue Jays and the Mariners for the privilege of taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series in the Fall Classic. So we'll do that a little later on. In between time, of course, it's guessing lines for Week 8 of the National Football League, which we'll get to. It's the exercise we do where I'm a cocoon. I don't know the spreads. Kelly tells me what they are. Within that exercise, we try to find value. Last week, a week ago, the two teams that I bet immediately during guessing lines, the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. So 1-0 so far on the initial instinct, with Seattle pending tonight. We'll see how that exercise goes today. Before we launch into it, though, a Circa Survivor update. That's how we like to sort of start the week. Very few eliminations this week thus far with 2 games remaining. In fact, a grand total of 204, that on the heels of 228 getting knocked out last week. But by comparison last year, if you remember this, through 5 weeks last year, 98.49%, a ridiculous record never to be broken. 98.49% of Circa survivors were out. Now look at it. They literally, in the 2 weeks after the first 5 weeks, so week 6 and week 7 of last year, 7 entries got knocked out in that 2-week span. So if you think these 432 thus far in the last 2 weeks is little, last year only 7 entries got knocked out in the entirety of week 6 and 7.
That's pretty crazy. That stretch last year was incredible.
Went from the record carnage to record stagnation.
Yeah, yep.
Here's where we stand right now, by the way, if we could do that. And again, the biggest pick this week to lose was the Steelers. 181 people had the Steelers out of what went into the week was 4,418 remaining entries. But if we go to the percentages here, guys, once again, through this point of week 7, again, 2 games left, 77.49% of all entries have been knocked out. That is still, Kelly, in the 6-year history of Survivor, only the 4th worst and really teetering on being the 5th worst or second least. 2021, they hadn't even gotten to 50% knocked out yet by this point. But look at 2022. We talk about last year. Because only 7 entries were knocked out the last couple weeks, in other words, weeks 6 and 7 last year, it allowed the 2022 year, percentage-wise, to almost catch up to it. So at that point, you had 2 historical years through 7 weeks, last year and 3 years ago, teetering again right around the 98% mark. So anyway, it's not really that remarkable of a year this year when it gets down to it. And you still have the number of entries left now still exceed the number of entries that started years 1 and years 2.
It's incredible. It's every week we put this up, and I'm just looking at the comparable percentages of 2020 and then 2025, and just the total numbers not even close to each other.
All right, let's do this. Let's launch it, and let's look for some value. Let's make some bets, guessing lines for Week 8 in the National Football League. I love when Missy Elliott shows up for that. By the way, Grandissimo, they had 15 entries heading into today. Only the Lions remain. All 14 got through. Chiefs, 12. Patriots and Broncos, 1 each. Oh, we'll get to the Broncos. This is what we do. We recap everything from yesterday. We look for the value. What's first?
All right, Thursday night football, the Minnesota Vikings at the LA Chargers.
Oh, the Vikings. Vikings lose to the Eagles, the 3-3 Vikings. Had this one. But I have to tell you, even in victory, even with an ATS win here, you don't feel real good about the Eagles.
You and I both won on this game, by the way.
Yeah.
One of those weird ones, because I had the Vikings teased up. You had the Eagles laying the points. One of those games.
Well, it started out, Philadelphia had a 4th and 1 at their own 45. Hurts on a Tuchus push for 1. Then later, 4th and 4 at Minnesota 37. Hurts with all kinds of time to A.J. Brown. Touchdown, 7-0 Eagles. 6:59 left in the first quarter. After Reichert hit a 59-yard field goal, by the way, to make it 7-3. Minnesota now in the second quarter, 3rd and 5 at their own 39, pressured Jalen Carter on Wentz. Wentz picked by Jalix Hunt, 42 yards to the house. And that pick 6 to make it 14-3 Philadelphia with 13:26 left in the second quarter was really the difference in this game, period, all the way through. Because from that point forward, Minnesota 2nd and 27 at their own 9. Wentz picked deep again by Andrew Makuba, but the Eagles couldn't do anything with that. Minnesota next time they had the ball after that from their own 20. 2nd and 1 to the Philly 6. Incomplete intended for JJ. DeJean breaks it up. 3rd and goal. Wentz overthrows, 3rd and 1 at the 6, pardon me. Wentz overthrows Naylor. And then 4th and 1, a hold, nullified a would-be touchdown, so they had to settle for a field goal. 14-6. Later it would be 14-9. At this point in the game in the third quarter, 14-9, you know how many total yards Philly had? 117. I mean, they were doing nothing.
Yeah.
But as Philly is wont to do, then they just pull a big play out of their you-know-what. Out of their cheeks, Kelly, I believe is what the correct technical term is. Second play, 2nd and 5 at their own 21. Hurts to Devonta Smith for 79. Touchdown. 21-9 Eagles. 8:07 left in the third. And then Minnesota would chip. Start at their own 40 after a kickoff, short landing zone, PI immediately in Philly territory. Eventually Mason in from 1, 21-16. Then Elliott misses a 42-yard field goal try. I believe it was a bad snap. Reichert 35-yard field goal, 21-19, 10:06 left. And then Philly, once again, just as soon as you get close, it's like a game of red light, green light with them. 7 plays, 70 yards, 3rd and 13 from their own 27. Hurts to A.J. for 13. 4 plays later, Hurts to A.J. Brown for 26 out. 28-19 with 6:35 left. It would get to 28-22 after Wentz took a sack on 2nd down, again, when they were inside the red zone. That forced them to have to settle for the field goal, 28-22. And then Philadelphia, after Minnesota kicked away with all 3 timeouts, started their own 43 after Xavier Gibson's 37-yard return, 3rd and 9 at their own 44. Again, they're up 6. They need the first down. They get it. Hurts to A.J. Brown for 45. They run out the clock from there as he just falls to the ground smartly.
Love the play call.
It's great. By the way, A.J. Brown only had 4 catches. We might have named all of them there. They were all big. They were all big.
121 and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Who are they playing? They're playing the Chargers. Minnesota
Jalen Hurts was awesome. That part was awesome. I get your point with Philly completely.
They're awesome when they need to be.
Yeah, that was one of the better games. Definitely his best game of the season. One of the better games I thought he had played in a while. Getting both of those wide receivers involved is huge. That's obviously been a big storyline. But then you got Saquon in this running game. There's still questions.
They don't feel like a Super Bowl winning team this year. They don't.
They don't.
We
could have said similar stuff at this point last year.
Plenty
of
time to right the ship.
Yep.
And Minnesota, by the way, I think Will Hill, who's a Minnesota fan, he texted at one point: "Is Carson Wentz shaving points?" Sometimes, man.
It's that's going to be really interesting, I think, here on a short week to see what ends up happening with this quarterback situation.
He's obviously joking for those who think I'm being serious. That he's being serious. Yes.
You're right. I should have let you clarify that. I got another scripting call this week. Is this scripted call this weekend from someone, Gil, that I thought had a brain?
Oh man, I'll get that off air. Chargers, who are hosting the Vikings, they lose to the Colts. This became a track meet. Colts, 5 plays, 75 yards. Jones to Warren, 29 on the drive. JT in for 23, 6-0. Badgley missed the extra point. Wide left. Early first quarter. It'll be 6-3 after a Dicker field goal. He never misses. Indianapolis 4th and 1 at their own 39. Controversial conversion by JT for 1. I guess he got it. Later, 4th and 1 at the Chargers 19. Jonathan Taylor on the pitch for 7. 4th and 2 at the Chargers 4. Jones to Pittman touchdown, 13-3, early stages of the second quarter. Next time Indianapolis got the ball, 3rd and 17 at their own 27. Jones to Pierce for 48. 4 plays later, 3rd and goal at the 5. Jones to Warren, 20-3 Indianapolis. 8:56 left second quarter. Then the Chargers 3rd and 3 at the Indianapolis 28. Grover Stewart bats the pass way up in the air and picks it. Next time the Chargers had the ball, 3rd and 7 at the Indianapolis 8. Herbert picked in the end zone by Nick Cross. It'd be 23-3 at the half. Third quarter, Chargers woke up, 6 plays, 70 yards, 4th and 5 at the Indianapolis 7. Herbert to Johnston, touchdown, 23-10. First 2 minutes of the third quarter. But then Indianapolis immediately, ensuing kickoff, Amir Abdullah returns at 81 yards. 2 plays, 14 yards. Taylor in from 8, 31-10. And then on the subsequent drive, we're still early third quarter, Chargers go 76 yards on a drive where the announcer described a soft spot in the zone as a, quote, honey hole, unquote. I'm just reporting.
I missed that one.
Herbert to Allen for 17 to start. To Allen from 4 out, 31-17. But the Colts wouldn't let him get any closer. 5 plays, 73 yards. Jones to Tyler Warren for 29 to start. Taylor in from 19 to end at 38-17. It would get to 38-24 early fourth quarter, but the Chargers could never do anything subsequent after that. They had one really super long drive, but it was taking way too much time, down 2 touchdowns, and it didn't result in anything. So for me, by the way, Herbert, 420 yards passing, but in defeat. It's very Jeff Georgish.
Yeah.
The 3-3 Vikings at the 4-3 Chargers. I'll say Chargers minus 3.5.
Yeah, you are a little off. We are Chargers 2.5, and it's a bet for me already, Gil. Don't love it.
On the Chargers?
On the Chargers, yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't love it either, but I would lean that way too.
Don't love it, put them in.
But only 2.5, really? Are you going to make me bet the Chargers? I got to think about this. Coming back.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Pauly, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, our final Monday night doubleheader, and it's a good one. Tampa and Detroit and Houston and Seattle. Maybe a Game 7 to preview in the ALCS. Nick Whalen will give out his best bets and props. Warren Sharp to also talk props and NFL recap. And Ira Kaufman on Mayfield Magic, MVP talk, and Buccaneers. Follow the Money, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN. The Sports Betting Network now, Sirius XM Channel 158.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Derek Stevens, Shangri-La in the desert. Think he'll get tired of you saying that? It's probably
him or me.
You. How about you? Let's start there.
No, I'm not. I don't think Derek will be either. I mean, he named the parking garage is named the Garage Mahal.
I know, for God's sakes.
I don't think he'll get tired of it.
I won't get tired of it. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Dave at Yankee. He says, in the 2026 NFL draft, if the Jets have the number 1 pick or even a top 3 pick, will all the eligible quarterbacks refuse to play for the Jets? Still winless. You're 0-7 Jets. My bet on the Dolphins to have the fewest wins. The Jets just won't budge.
It's a race, and no one
will budge.
And it's still New York City. People will want to play there.
Oh, absolutely. Jacob Ellis, Wapisi Capital. Did the Rams perfect the overseas travel? I'm so glad you brought this up. They look sharp right out of the gate. That's a team that very well could be undefeated to this point. You know, this needs to be said every time we talk about overseas travel. And you'll hear, because we got to fill content, right? So you'll hear not just us, but you'll hear everybody sort of talk about, they're going early. Mm-hmm. Or in the case of the Vikings, remember they had 2 straight games, so they had the second game. They obviously had this massive advantage. Remember, they pulled it out in miraculous style against the Browns. And the Rams just showed up the day before.
Yeah.
And they just crushed the Jaguars. I think we got to get rid of this notion that there is a specific way to do this, meaning get there early. Mm-hmm. There just isn't.
Yeah, I've been part of that, admittedly.
I mean, we all have. We've all speculated, right?
I think it's one of those things. For a lot of it, it was speculation for years, right?
Sure.
Teams were handling it different ways. I think it made sense intuitively that if you got over there early,
I'm not pointing fingers. I'm raising my hand as part of this. I'm just saying we shouldn't do it moving forward.
Yeah, but it's something we bring up all the time, right? Sample size. Yeah. Now it feels like we are getting enough where maybe those results are panning out that it doesn't matter all that much.
If you're really a team that's taking this seriously, you get experts in to try to figure out what might be the best way.
Yeah.
If you could even do that.
And really, at the end of the day, Gil, it probably just matters more about the team itself than anything else.
He would probably overblow it, period. Bob C-137, if the 49ers are allowed to pull an already unstoppable running back into the end zone to guarantee the death of many teasers, how can we win? Keep the tennis picks coming. Thank you. We couldn't get the sweep. We were 2-1. I'm never betting the NFL again until tonight and Thursday and Sunday. But after that, I'm done. That is such a great sentiment. We've all said that. We all joke. We're like, I'm never betting this again till tomorrow night's game.
I told Gil this off the air last week. Yesterday, flawless. I didn't lose a single bet. Great week of betting the NFL. Nothing was heavily staked, though. I think I brought that up a couple times on the show last week. It was least amount of bets I've had all week. Week 2. The best NFL betting week I've had in the last 3 years. Great. It was another week. I didn't hit another one. There were some big bets there. Weeks 3 through 5, Gil, the worst 3-week stretch I've had in 5 years of betting the NFL. I can't, and this is, Millions is maybe the best example. Do you know I don't have a 2-3 or a 3-2 Millions week yet?
Now that's amazing.
Everything has been 5-0, 4-1, or 1-4, 0-5.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
I've lived in the 3-2, 2-3 range. Except for week 1, where I don't think I got anything right. Gary Philly, time for guessing lines on a numbers game. Yeah, we've started. We're going to continue. Primetime, Cowboys _Cubs 1. Yo, hey, man. Having taken Denver in my $1 million survivor, I'm now 420 years old. Pretty sure on this week in agree. Or pretty sure on this week in agree. 1, injuries suck. Too soon for the RG3 comparison? No, I was making it the first time he got hurt. His mom is on Twitter asking people not to make the comparison. Talking about Jaden's mom. 2, Cowboys are the NFL's most entertaining team.
Oh,
easy.
Yes,
easily. Easy. Stop it. No, they're never entertaining. 3, Zoe should dance. Oh, she can do anything she wants. And 4, yoga pants. Peace and love. Tribute to the old Megapod story by Buddy West.
The Commanders and Cowboys should play each other every week. There should be a practice midweek on Wednesday nights just for us to watch.
Well, as long as the one team has their quarterback and wide receivers, sure.
Well, I want Jaden and those guys to be there. That was fun. That game was fun.
Nothing fun about it. Las Vegas 514. Yo, any concerns on our franchise quarterback, JD5? I know he's a little light in the backside, but I don't want any comparison to RG3. I was making it. We all made it before the season even started. Like after this amazing rookie year, they were both rookies of the year, and then we know what happened to RG3 late in his rookie year. the sprained knee against Baltimore, and then he blew it out in the playoffs against Seattle at home. The place was a morgue. So as soon as there's any sign of injury with Jaden, this is already the second injury now, he's played like parts of, what is it? Like he's played parts of 5 games. He's played three full, 1 injured late, the Green Bay game, and now this one where he had to go out. And McLaurin's only played 3. It feels like a lost season.
He's light in the backside.
James NTU89. Thank God it's only a hamstring. I thought it was worse.
Dude, seriously.
I thought it was
worse.
James NTU89. Gil, I went all in on Denver yesterday in Survivor. I'm still speechless. Should I buy a lottery ticket? I think that was your lottery ticket. Shrek McPhee. Can we please just slot the Jets and Titans games into early European slot or one of the doubleheader Monday nights? I'm so tired of having them occupy 2 of the 6 early slate games every single week. Brutal.
Preach.
The early window.
Kelly's getting upset about this stuff too.
The early window this week and last week, and I'm not even talking about the Europe games, which were horrific.
Yes.
But the early windows were horrible.
It's terrible.
But we love football, right?
Terrible. I like the staggered Monday night games. Do we need this many Monday night doubleheaders? No. Do we need this many international games? No. Because you know that, Gil, when it starts to affect back-to-back weeks of the early window.
Let's try to squeeze in one here.
Sunday early window, because there's no international game this week. Dolphins at the Falcons.
Thank you, Lord. 1-6 Dolphins, 3-3 Falcons. Not much to say about the Dolphins game other than 3-3 early second quarter. Cleveland, 83 yards. Judkins in from 46 yards to the house. 10-3 Cleveland. Ensuing kickoff, D. Eskridge fumbles. Recovered by Rayshon Jenkins. Cleveland set up at the Miami 46. Judkins in from 3. 17-3 Cleveland. It will be 17-6 at the half. Miami, first play, third quarter. 1st and 10 at their own 35. Tua, high throw deflection. Pick 6. Tyson Campbell, 34 yards to the house. 24-6 Cleveland. Then a couple times later, 3 drives later for Miami. Pardon me. 3rd and 12 at their own 3. Tua from the end zone. Picked by Rayshon Jenkins. Cleveland set up at the 2. Judkins in first play. 31-6 Browns. Let me repeat that. 31-6 Browns.
Offensive powerhouse.
Miami second play, next drive. Tua picked by Ronnie Hickman. Just wanted to throw that in as well. And by the way, down 31-6, there was a play where Quinn Ewers came in for Tua, and he hit D. Eskridge with a 40-yard play, and D. Eskridge down 31-6, mugging it up for the cameras. What are we doing? By the way, this Mike McDaniel's getting fired right after this show.
I mean, it
right?
has to happen, right?
As soon as we leave the studio, that's when stuff happens within 5 minutes.
Yes. I've become the guy that's not as comfortable with the in-coaching firings, but my God, Miami, you got it. It's rip off the Band-Aid time. You got it. You got to get this. Move some of these players you can get something for. Time to start over.
Tua was 12 for 23 for 100 yards.
3 picks.
3
fumbles.
3 interceptions, 2 sacks. By the way, they outgained Cleveland 219 to 206, but they were -4 in turnovers. They're at Atlanta. For those who missed this game last night, there was baseball on. Maybe you were footballed out. I don't know what to make of this. 3-0 Atlanta, early second quarter. San Francisco 2nd and 8 at the Atlanta 23. Mac Jones picked off deflection by Caden Ellis. Atlanta couldn't do anything with it. Next time San Francisco had the ball, they started to dominate. 13 plays, 80 yards. McCaffrey in from 1, 7-3 Niners. 1:48 left in the second quarter. Atlanta would get it back. 1st and 10 their own 46. Penix sacked by Bryce Huff. He fumbled. Alfred Collins recovered. San Francisco set up at the Atlanta 40 with 1:28 left. Had to settle for a Pinheiro 55-yard field goal. By the way, Pinheiro's been unbelievable.
That's great.
10-3 San Francisco, 38 seconds left. Atlanta from their own 21 with 32 seconds left in the second quarter. They get it 57 yards downfield on 2 plays, but Penix, intentional grounding with 10 seconds to go, clock runoff, go to the locker room. 10-3 San Francisco. Third quarter, 13-3. Jamal Agnew, 45-yard kickoff return after the Pinheiro field goal to make it 13-3, set up at the San Francisco 48. 6 plays, Penix to Bijan from 10 out, 13-10 Niners with 6:28 left in the third quarter. So you're like, as weird as this game has been, it's only a 3-point game. Later, San Francisco from their own 4. They punt after a 3rd and 3 deep ball to Demarcus Robinson. It's flat out dropped. Atlanta from their own 17. They get it to 4th and 1 at the San Francisco 35. Remember, they're only down 3. Penix incomplete, intended for London. And then San Francisco with 8:16 left, 3rd and 13 at the Atlanta 21. Mack to McCaffrey for 17 to the 4. 2:31 left. First Atlanta timeout. Next play, McCaffrey appears stuffed. This is what the gentleman on Twitter was referring to. Pulled in by his offensive lineman. No call. Touchdown. 20-10. Atlanta would have this weird last drive where it was a turnover on downs, but it was just the jankiest drive. So Atlanta loses this game 20-10 to a Niners team that was beat up. Obviously, the Fred Warner injury, the latest calamitous injury for this team. Collinsworth and Tirico appropriately were giving Robert Saleh tons of praise to get that Niners defense coached up.
Yep.
This MASH unit.
It was awesome.
What I don't think they did was talk about how bad Zach Robinson's offense was for Atlanta. What were they doing out there? It was so strange.
Dude,
so odd.
We've said it before. You say it all the time. No team is as good or as bad as they've looked the week before. The Atlanta Falcons are the epitome of that this season. I have no idea about this
Atlanta
team.
minus 6.5 hosting the Dolphins.
You are a little light 7.5 out there on this game.
Oh, well. Okay. Makes sense. I will accept. Coming back, more guessing lines on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
Got a good thing coming. Just wait and see. It's a good.
The NBA betting season is tipping off, and VSiN's got you covered with our brand new NBA betting guide. We've packed it with key insights and betting trends, previews of all 30 teams, and of course, our experts' season-long best bets. It's the playbook you want in your hands before the first tip. The guide is exclusive for VSiN Pro members, so don't miss out. Sign up today at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
It is that time of year, the sports equinox. What's the sports equinox, you say? When all 4 major leagues are in action at the same time. Celebrate the best time of year for bettors with the VSiN Sports Equinox Special. Sign up now and get full Visa Pro access to everything we do through May 1st for only $120. That's less than $20 a month. You'll get daily best bets from hosts and guests, DraftKings, Circa, and Brocco betting splits updated every 5 minutes. Oh, we threw Brocco in there, too.
That's right.
AI-driven prop projections and matchup tools, 24/7 live and on-demand video on the VSiN Watch app, plus exclusive coverage for the World Series, football season, NBA and NHL regular seasons, March Madness, and the NFL Draft. Don't wait. This limited time offer won't last. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe today. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. We get tweets at Beatty the Book. Brian Schaefer, 31. Brian, you're becoming a Philly homer par, unmatched. He says, Eagles offense looked really bad. Played the second best D on the road, and Hurts had a pretty good rating yesterday. Yeah, well, I'm talking about the first 2 quarters and 6 minutes. Right? Until the 9-minute mark of the third quarter, they had 117 total yards of offense and weren't really doing much. Now, yes, you're right at that point. It became a different proposition, and they got it together. But it's even after that, right? They got to 21-9. They let it get to 21-19. They couldn't do anything on offense. Then they got they got another big drive. It really is sporadic with this offense. And Brian, listen, I know you hate when anybody says anything negative about the Eagles, but you have to admit, it's not exactly humming. Ryan Morstein, will Kevin O'Connell start J.J. McCarthy this week in the Jim Harbaugh, J.J. McCarthy Love Affair Reunion Bowl on Thursday Night Football? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what J.J.'s status is.
Yeah, I think that's completely up in the air. Yeah. I mean, and Wentz gave you, I think, enough concerns finally yesterday for you to make that change a little bit more easily.
LFC title records. I was sitting next to my 11-year-old daughter on Sunday and heard the announcer say honey hole. My initial reaction was to hit the mute button like a rated R movie was on. Soft spot in the zone, right in that honey hole. Perry Anderson. By my calculation, Fezzik went 1 for 5 on the plays he gave out on the show Friday. I cannot retire at this pace. Was Fezzik 1 and 5? Is that true?
I do not know.
We got to check on that. Arn Diggity. You got to bag it up. It's official. The Unabomber is a horrible coach. Capri Pants, next coach to get fired. Oh, I think he's fired today. I do. By the way, see the Unabomber comparisons?
Mm-hmm.
Little images back and forth. Austin Herdina. Oh, thank you, Austin. This is very nice. He says, I love putting your show on the book when I work Monday mornings. Potawatomi Sportsbook in Milwaukee loves a numbers game. There we are on the screen, Kelly.
Nice.
Very nice. Go. Nice screens, by the way. Thank you.
That's a great sportsbook setup, actually.
Thank you, Austin. That looks beautiful. Indiana Jet. Indiana Jet was one of the 4 survivor choppers a couple years ago. He said, as a New York Jets / Indiana University fan, there's nothing more I want to see than Fernando Mendoza drafted by the Jets. But he's a Cuban from Miami, and Stephen Ross is going to do everything he can to lose out the rest of the way. Well, my ticket for fewest wins would love to see them lose out the rest of the way. By the way, I don't think there's a Dolphins win until after their bye. I mean, there could be a lot of losing here for the next month plus. Real Knicks. I've never been so embarrassed to be a Dolphins fan, and that includes a 1-15 season. Making matters worse is I've lost all faith in Tua, plus 7.5 at Atlanta is so light. Falcons can name their score. In fact, I believe Bijan already scored on a 60-yard touchdown run. And Jack Hannon at Steeler Jack 50. 4th and 1, down 3, fourth quarter. Bijan's not even in the game. Coaching mismatch of enormous proportions. Give Shanahan the Atlanta team, and he's likely undefeated. Yeah, I don't know if he's undefeated, but you just can't figure out this team. There's way too much talent for them to only score 10 points against a beat-up D. And good on the Niners, right? That's the difference between the Niners and, say, a team like the Commanders, Washington isn't deep enough to make up for big injuries. Whereas San Francisco apparently has level after level after level, and they can get coached up.
Shanahan's amazing. He's just amazing, too.
Solid deserves.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's next?
All right, still in the early window. Plenty of tickets available. Jets at Bengals.
So far, by the way, I will bet the Chargers, but I'm not sure I'm running to bet Atlanta. Jets at Bengals, you said?
Yep.
The 0-7 Jets, the 3-4 Bengals, the Bengals with extra rest here. Jets yesterday against Carolina. Whew. That was a stink bomb. Jets first drive, 4th and 5 at the Carolina 33. Fields incomplete, intended for Reynolds. 3-3 game much later in the half. Carolina from their own 48, Bryce to Chuba Hubbard for 26, down to the 3. Bryce to Xavier Legette, next play, touchdown, 10-3 Carolina. We go into the half that way.
Are we on Legette or Legette, by the way? I've heard a lot of Legette on the games.
Let me just tell you something. If he wants to pronounce his name Legette, I'm just going to have to disagree. Legette. I'm going Legette. By the way, Fields sacked by Ashawn Robinson to end the half. Just brutal. Third quarter, 10-3. Now you see all the Jets money that came in at the end.
Yep.
Right before kickoff. Jets were favored by the end. Third quarter, 13-3 now, Carolina. Fields is benched. Tyrod Taylor's in. Still had to punt first time. Next time they got the ball. Jets, 2nd and 10, the Carolina 38. Tyrod picked deep in the end zone by J.C. Horn. Dalton in now for Carolina. Sauce is hurt for the Jets. It'd be 13-6 after a Folk field goal. That's Nick Folk. And then next time the Jets would get the ball, down 7. 2nd and 10 at their own 28. Tyrod picked deep by J.C. Horn again. Next time the Jets would get the ball, they're still down 7. 3 and out. A punt on 4th and 10 at their own 14 with all 3 timeouts. 1:55 left. I guess you got to. You have all your timeouts, I guess. They'd never see the ball again. Carolina 3rd and 8 at their own 45. Dalton to Legette for 33 ball game. That's all you need to know about that game. And then who was the other one? Cincinnati, we already talked about. They played on Thursday night. I'll say Cincinnati minus 5.5.
This one is right on the money. Bengals 5 to 6-point favorites out there right now. Actually, I see a 4.5 at FanDuel. But mainly 5.5s.
I saw that at FanDuel. I would bet that. I think Cincinnati could. I think they could roll. I really do. Next,
I'm wondering what the Jets do with. You think there's a quarterback change there at all?
Are we done with the Justin Fields experiment once and for all?
I don't know. I don't know that we are, but I can tell you that I would think Tyrod Taylor would be an upgrade.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to the playoffs.
You're not. That's the big thing.
What are we doing with him? Why is that going to matter? Next,
early window Browns at Patriots.
2-5 Brownies, 5-2 Patriots. Cleveland, as we talked about earlier, beat the Dolphins, crushed them. Dylan Gabriel only completed 13 forward passes. He was 13 of 18 for 116. As I said, the Dolphins actually outgained the Browns because it was just a pick fest and a turnover fest for the Dolphins. Judkins, 25 for 84, 3 touchdowns. And again, outgained 219 to 206, but plus 4 in turnovers. The Patriots beat the Titans. And oh my God, if you watch Scott Hansen on Red Zone, the slurp fest continued.
Dude, get ready for it all week. The Patriots are the greatest team in the NFL. You want to wear that, Gil?
3-3 game. Tennessee goes 3 plays, 59 yards, and 137. Ward to Chamari DK for 18, then to DK for 38. Touchdown, 10-3 Titans. 5:04 left in the first quarter. A couple times later for the Patriots, though. 11 plays, 93 yards. Made to Austin Hooper on 3rd and goal from the 3. Great catch. Touchdown, 10-10. 5:34 left in the second. We go 13-10 Titans. Inside 2 minutes left in the second quarter, but New England after a kickoff out of bounds. Oh, how much of this plagues the league. From their own 40, 3 plays made to Kendrick Bourne from 39 out, 17-13 Patriots by halftime. They had already taken the lead by the half after trailing a couple times. Third quarter, New England blows it open. First drive, 12 plays, 88 yards. May has to leave it temporarily, but he comes back 4th and 1 at the Tennessee 9. Made to DeMario Douglas for 5. Great catch on a throw that was behind him. Next play, Ramondre in from 4, 24 to 13. And then Tennessee, first play, subsequent drive, first and 10 at their own 23. Cam loses the ball untouched on the windup. And Kaylavon Chason, 19 yards to the house, 31 to 13. All of a sudden, it's a out-and-out blowout. And if you're Cam Ward and you're the Tennessee Titans, you just cannot have that. You cannot sit there untouched and lose the football.
Wet ball, Gil. It's tough. It's tricky sometimes. Oh, wait, it wasn't wet.
That ball was not wet.
Yeah.
Ward was picked later by Marcus Jones off a deflection as well. Drake May, 21 of 23. That is, I'll do the math for you, Kelly. That's a 91.3% completion rate.
It's not bad.
21 of 23. That is the New England Patriots franchise record.
Well, that can't be because Tom Brady played there, Gil.
Yeah, it still is. He never did that. But Drake May did it yesterday. He only threw for 222 yards, but he didn't need to do more. 21 of 23 for 222, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 387 to 255 total yards advantage. The Patriots were +2 in turnovers. Cleveland at New England. I will say New England. I got to put in the Scott Hansen slurp vibe. I'll say New England minus 6.5.
6.5 juiced at DraftKings. It is 7 everywhere else that I'm looking at.
Look at me. Good guess. Yeah, that's about right.
Patriots definitely a survivor consideration for me this week. It's part of the reason why I pivoted to Kansas City, and we'll see where this line goes. Might end up in a Patriots. Patriots might end up in a teaser.
On Red Zone, Drake May has won 6 Super Bowls.
Oh, at least.
He's about to catch Tom Brady.
I like it because you watch so much Red Zone, dude. It is
oh,
gonna,
my God.
Every show in America the next couple days, it's all you're going to hear.
When we get into the Giants and the Broncos, we get to that next.
I've already heard Drake May is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I've heard a lot of this. Yep. He's good.
He's good. Easy, though. Coming back on a numbers game.
It's that rare time of year when all 4 major sports are in action, the sports equinox. To celebrate, VSiN is giving you full access to VSiN Pro all the way through May 1st for just $120. That's best bets sent to your inbox daily, betting guides for every sport, AI-driven prop projections and matchup tools, and every VSiN show live through the VSiN Watch app. Lock in the sports equinox special today at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
Lesson number 1, Patty's back. I still believe that Caleb Williams is not any good. And, other than Rome Odunze, I don't trust anyone that can't run the ball.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game, guessing lines for Week 8 in the National Football League. Looking for value. Hope you're playing along by yourself. Interactive game. My guesses are my guesses, but you should be guessing along as well and try to find value yourself. So far, I've bet the Chargers. So far in the first hour, I've bet the Chargers. -2.5, hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Nothing else, though. We get tweets beating the book. Win one for Drew. With the horrible Miami run D, if the Falcons OC calls any passing plays, he should be fired at halftime. Brad Magnus. All right, this cannot be true. The real Brad Magnus. He says, BetMGM at State Farm Stadium, that's the one in Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals play, is giving free bets every day until January. Bet $100 to $199 for a $100 free bet. $200 bet gets you a $200 free bet. I've been taking advantage, but my YOLO parlays aren't working. How would you approach these bets? Futures? Okay, first of all, there's two things here. One, why are you parlaying them? If this is true, just bet like money, just bet dogs on the money line would be my advice. Forget the parlays. But before we even get to that, wait a minute now, Kelly.
Yeah.
Wait, you bet $100 to $199 for a $100 free bet, and $200 bet gets you a $200 free bet, and you're saying this is available every day?
So I got a $200 free play every single day?
Is Steve Fezzik outside of that stadium right now?
Yeah. Gil and I were discussing this a lot during the break. I'm doing the show remotely from a tent outside the stadium every day through January. Apparently.
Every day or every Sunday when the Cardinals are
It's got to be something like that. I'm sure it was just a small mistake on the tweet. It's got to be that. Because why would if you're Arizona Police Department
come to the stadium?
Aren't you like, why are you bringing all these people to the stadium on days where there's not games?
I don't know.
It's also like MGM call in Arizona, too, so you can do it all over the state.
Everybody's speeding towards the border right now. Ben Handorf, my 6-year-old daughter went 9 for 11 on her $1 parlay. She lost on the Dolphins. She said she likes Dolphins in the early window. Otherwise, we were hedging going into the Sunday Nighter, and we bet real dollars on this league. Dan Cobald, there's a pretty entertaining team sitting on top of the AFC right now, just saying. Oh, we'll get to your Colts. And Ben in the Woods, Broncos game. Hey, Daboll, what if with 40 seconds left at the 1-yard line, how about a quick kneel down to burn 20 more seconds? Then you get 3 plays to win it at the 2. You even had a timeout. Better odds than stopping Knicks and Broncos from kicking a field goal? Hashtag football IQ. We'll get to that. And Jeff Holdorf at Arrowhead for the Raiders-Chiefs snooze fest. Pre-game, they show clips of historical Raiders-Chiefs games. The 2 Raider quarterbacks shown the great Darryl Lamonica and not Kenny Stabler, not Jim Plunkett, not Rich Gannon. It's Jeff George. Good grief. 2 Jeff George references on the show. Oh, we got to talk about that game too. What's next?
Giants at Eagles.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed this Giants-Broncos game yesterday, you have my sympathies. Best game of the year? Most incredible game of the year?
Most incredible game of the year for sure.
I mean, there's been a lot of them, but this one takes the cake. First half, pretty straightforward. Giants were dominating. Second time the Giants had the ball. Third time. Scoreless game. Giants 77 yards. Great dart to Wan'Dale Robinson throw for 23 on 2nd and 10 at their own 23. Then 2 plays later, dart to Daniel Bellinger from 44 out. Wide open. 7-0 Giants. 6:54 left in the first. Later, I think we're in the second quarter now, dart to Bellinger for 29, the big chunk. 4th and 1 at the Denver 13. Dart for 1. Then 3rd and 11 at the 13. Dart dumps it to Scatabo, who patiently follows his blocks. Touchdown, 13-0 Giants. And then Jude Mikatem, how do you pronounce his last name? McAdamney?
I do not know.
Either way, he was McAt not making him. Wide left. It remains 13-0. Now, missed extra points never come back to haunt you, do they? 8:46 left in the second quarter. By the way, later in the half, the Broncos would have a 1st and goal at the 5, then 2nd and goal at the 2, incomplete to Sutton for 1. So it would go to halftime, 13-0 New York G-Men. They would get it to 19-0. Second time they had the ball in the second half. 7 plays, 59 yards. Tyrone Tracy Jr. in from 31, just galloping, just sort of strolling into the end zone. 19-0 Giants. 2-point try fails. 2:41 left in the third quarter. I mean, this game, 19-0. Come on now.
It's 19-0, Gil.
Broncos get the ball. Now, this drive extends into the fourth quarter for reasons I mentioned now, which will become apparent. 8 plays, 78 yards, 32-yard Dobbins run, the big chunk. 2nd and goal at the 2. Knicks to Sutton, deflected up in the air, caught by a diving Troy Franklin in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. 2-point try, good. Knicks to Sutton for 2. 19-8 Giants. 14:08 left in the game. 19-8. Giants get to 3rd and 17 at the Denver 41 after taking a bad delay. Dart to Robinson. Ball bounces up off his body into the air. Theo Johnson, without missing a stride, grabs it midair to the house. Touchdown, G-Men. 26-8 Giants. 10:14 left. You're down 18 points with just over 10 minutes left. If you're the Broncos, this one, man, oh man, all these Broncos survivors. Bad news. Except for then Denver goes 74 yards. 4th and 3 at the Giants 44, a PI. 5 plays later, Knicks in from 7, 26-14. 2-point try, good. Knicks to Franklin, 26-16. Giants with 5:13 left. You're still up 10. And then probably the most consequential play of them all. Pardon me. 3rd and 5 at their own 35. Dart is picked by Justin Strand. Returns at 21 yards. Dart would say later, I just cannot make that mistake.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Denver set up at the Giants 19, 4 plays. Knicks to Harvey from 2 out, 26-23. And to the people like Steve Fezzik who think you go from 10 to 4 to 2, not even Sean Payton did it. He kicked the extra point. 3:51 left in the game. 26-23, Denver Broncos. Giants now with the ball. Broncos only have 1 timeout in the 2-minute warning. 3 and out as Dart way overthrows the receiver on 3rd and 8. Denver takes over at their own 32 with 2:42 left in the 4th quarter, down 3. No timeouts. 3rd and 11 at their own 31. Knicks to Mims Jr. for 31. 2 plays later to Evan Ingram for 20 as he doesn't step out of bounds but turns it upfield. We're underneath a 2-minute warning now. 1:56 left. Next play, Knicks in from 18. 30-26 Broncos. 1:51 left. And the Broncos survivors are going to survive. Except for Giants. 4th and 19 at their own 26. Dart to Robinson to the sticks. They gave him the first down, but there was a roughing the passer penalty anyway. Not sure if that would have survived review had there not been a roughing the passer. Maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't have, because some people were saying the yellow line didn't match with the marker on the sideline, but it sure looks short on the broadcast. Didn't matter, roughing the passer. So they get it all the way to the Denver 40. Next play, 2 Denver defenders slam into each other, drop a would-be pick. You got to be kidding me. 2 plays later, Dart goes deep, PI called. Ooh, that was a questionable PI. Sean Payton is livid about it. He runs onto the field. He gets flagged. So instead of getting it at the 2 where the flag was, they move it to the 1. And this is where the gentleman who just tweeted was just referring to. Why not be a little more cagey if you're the New York Giants? But no, Dart in, touchdown. And McAdamney misses the extra point wide again. So instead of 33-30, where a field goal would tie it, it's 32-30. Now a field goal wins it for the Broncos. But surely, Kelly, with 31 seconds left, starting at their own 23-yard line, pardon me, they're not going to be able to do anything. If you think that, you haven't been watching football in the year 2025.
That's right.
They start at their own 23. Knicks to Mims Jr. for 29. Bang, that easy. Giants neutral zone infraction. It gets to the Giants 33 with 18 seconds left. Then Knicks to Sutton for 22 to the Giants 21, and they spike it with 3 seconds left. Bo Nix tosses the ball at a ref and just runs off the field. You see that? He just throws it. Yeah. He just throws it at him and goes. Lutz, 39-yard field goal. Good. Broncos score all 33 of their points in the 4th quarter. They win it 33-32. The Giants, oh my God. By the way, 33 points in the 4th quarter, the second most 4th quarter points in the history of the National Football League. Wow. What a win for the Broncos. What a win for Broncos survivor players. The 2-5 Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles, 5-2.
19-0 heading into the 4th quarter, Kill.
And then they were down 18 later.
Yeah.
And then they were trailing again with 32 seconds left.
This is wild. I can't. This is where we were talking about
31 seconds left. Pardon me.
We were talking about it. Why am I blanking on whatever game this was now? Was it the Packers a few weeks ago? You got to milk the clock for as long as possible to the end. And I know the Giants. Like, it's Giants. You're still this young franchise. You just got to you'd want to score, But it's the NFL in 2025. You leave any time left on that clock when you got to kick off, you don't know what could happen.
And you've got to be smarter about late. We've seen in the last couple weeks, T. Higgins slide.
Yep.
We saw A.J. Brown fall to the ground yesterday. You've got to have your head about you. And if you are the Giants, maybe you just don't knock it in. 31 seconds is an eternity these days.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it an eternity, they got the ball all the way downfield. This is the Giants at the Eagles. It's a revenge spot from a game that was just played, it feels like 2 seconds ago, where the Giants crushed the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. I'll say the Eagles -6.
You are light. Eagles 7.